"It's okay, Nkechi," he said kindly. "I'm not angry with you, but I do think you need to understand something important." Nkechi listened intently, hoping for some words of wisdom that could make her feel better. Aenna began to speak, his voice steady and filled with experience. "I wasn't always in this position," he said. "I came from a small village, just like many others. My family didn't have much and I wore simple clothes, just like the ones you mocked me for. I worked hard to get to where I am today. And during that journey, I met many people who were kind, even when they didn't have much to give." Nkechi looked down, feeling ashamed. She couldn't believe how wrong she had been. She had judged Aenna for his appearance without knowing his story, while he had worked hard and helped others along the way. "I didn't get here by looking down on others," Aenna continued. "I got here by respecting people, no matter who they are or what they look like. Everyone has value, and it's important to see that." Nkechi nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "I understand now," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Aenna smiled gently. "I forgive you, Nkechi. But remember, the way we treat others matters more than anything else. I hope you'll change your ways and become someone who lifts others up, instead of putting them down." Nkechi felt a sense of relief wash over her. She had received forgiveness, but she knew the real work was in changing her mindset. Aenna's words stayed with her as she left the event that night, and she made a promise to herself to become a better person, one who valued kindness over appearances. The days after the event were not easy for Nkechi. She couldn't stop thinking about Aenna's words. What he had said about respecting others and the way she treated people kept running through her mind. She began to realize how wrong she had been, not just to Aenna, but to many others as well. Nkechi spent days reflecting on her actions. She remembered how she had laughed at people for their clothes, their jobs, and their simple lives. She had always thought that appearance and wealth were the most important things, but now she saw how shallow and hurtful that thinking was. As time passed, the community began to notice a change in Nkechi. People began to talk behind her back. Some of them remembered how she had humiliated others, especially Aenna, and now they looked at her with disappointment. A few people even spoke to her directly, telling her they didn't like how she had treated others in the past. One of Nkechi's closest friends, Chika, finally spoke to her after hearing the gossip. "Nkechi," she said, "I don't know who you've become, but this is not the girl I used to know. You've changed. You've become arrogant and toxic, thinking you're better than everyone else because of what you have or how you look." Nkechi felt a pang in her chest. She hadn't realized how much her behavior had hurt those closest to her. "I'm sorry, Chika," she said, her voice full of regret. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I was so focused on my own pride and appearance that I didn't see how my actions affected others." Chika shook her head. "I hope you realize how harmful that mindset is. It's not about looks or wealth. It's about being kind and treating people with respect." Then, without saying another word, Chika turned and walked away, leaving Nkechi standing there, feeling the weight of her mistakes. The conversation with Chika hit Nkechi hard. She realized that her arrogance had pushed away people she cared about. She felt more alone than ever. But deep down, she knew that she had to make things right. She couldn't continue down the path she had been on. It was time to change. Nkechi decided to start by changing how she treated others. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to begin her journey of self-improvement. She just hoped that over time the people around her would see that she was truly trying to become a better person. Determined to change, Nkechi decided to start her journey of redemption by volunteering at a local community center. She wanted to make up for the harm she had caused and show the people around her that she was serious about becoming a better person. The community center was a place where people from different backgrounds came for help, and Nkechi thought it would be a good place to learn and grow. At first, Nkechi wasn't sure how to start. She had never worked with people from different walks of life before, but she quickly found that there was so much to learn. She helped elderly people with their shopping, assisted children with their homework, and listened to the stories of people who had faced difficult times. With each new experience, Nkechi began to see the world in a different way. She realized that everyone, no matter their background or appearance, had their own struggles and dreams. As she spent more time at the center, Nkechi began to understand the value of kindness and how it could make a real difference in people's lives. She noticed how people appreciated her efforts, and she felt good about helping others. But even though she was changing, there was still one thing that weighed heavily on her mind: how Aenna might see her now. Aenna had been kind enough to forgive her, but he hadn't made any effort to connect with her since that night at the event. He noticed the changes in her, but he kept his distance. He wasn't sure if her efforts were sincere, or if she was simply trying to make up for her past mistakes. Aenna respected her decision to volunteer, but he wasn't ready to trust her completely just yet. Nkechi, however, didn't let this discourage her. She knew that trust had to be earned, and she was willing to work hard for it. Even though Aenna remained distant, she continued her volunteer work, focusing on helping others and improving herself. She understood that change didn't happen overnight, but she was ready to be patient and keep pushing forward. After a few weeks of working at the community center, Nkechi felt like she was starting to change for the better. She had learned so much from the people she helped, and she was beginning to feel more connected to the community. But there was still something missing. She wanted to earn Aenna's trust and show him that her transformation was real. One day, while she was volunteering at the center, Nkechi decided to take a step forward. She reached out to Aenna, asking him if they could talk. She knew it wasn't going to be easy, but she wanted his guidance on how to continue her journey of self-improvement. She felt that his advice could help her make even more progress. When Aenna agreed to meet her, Nkechi felt both nervous and hopeful. She had already learned a lot, but she still respected Aenna's wisdom and wanted to learn from him. When they met, she explained how much she had changed and how serious she was about being a better person. "Aenna, I know I've hurt people in the past, especially you," Nkechi began, "but I've been working hard to make things right. I want to know how I can continue improving and become someone who truly helps others. Please, if you have any advice, I'd be grateful." Aenna listened carefully to what she said, taking his time before responding. "Nkechi," he said slowly, "I can see that you're trying, but trust takes time, and I want to be sure your intentions are genuine. If you truly want to change, keep helping others and do it without expecting anything in return. Show kindness every day and be patient. Actions speak louder than words." Nkechi nodded, understanding the importance of proving herself through her actions. Aenna didn't give her a clear answer or promise of friendship, but his advice meant a lot to her. She knew that earning trust was a slow process, and she was ready to keep working hard. Over the next few months, Nkechi continued her volunteer work. She helped people without expecting praise, and she focused on being kind and respectful to everyone she met. Her efforts did not go unnoticed. The community began to see the change in her, and more people started to admire her for her humility and generosity. Even Aenna noticed that her transformation was real, but he still kept his distance, cautious about whether she had truly changed. Despite this, Nkechi didn't stop. She knew that change took time, and that she needed to prove herself through consistent actions. Slowly, she earned the respect of others, and her heart began to feel lighter. She had come a long way from the proud, arrogant woman she used to be, and with each passing day, she became more determined to keep improving, knowing that true change was a journey, not a destination. Months had passed since Nkechi started her journey of change, and she had worked hard to prove that she was a better person. She knew she had to do something special to show Aenna and the community how serious she was about making amends. That's when she decided to organize a charity event to support Aenna's foundation. The foundation helped many people in need, and Nkechi wanted to contribute in a meaningful way. She planned the event carefully, making sure everything was perfect. She invited people from all walks of life, including those who had supported her during her transformation. Nkechi knew that the event was not just about raising money for the foundation. It was also a way for her to demonstrate her genuine change. On the day of the event, Nkechi stood before the crowd, feeling both nervous and proud. She had come a long way, and this was her chance to show everyone how much she had grown. With a microphone in her hand, she spoke to the guests. "Good evening, everyone," she began. I stand here today not just as a person who has organized this event, but as someone who has learned valuable lessons in life. I used to think that the most important things were wealth and appearance. I judged others harshly, and in doing so, I hurt many people, especially Aenna. I want to publicly apologize to him and to anyone else I may have wronged. It was wrong of me, and I am truly sorry. I am here tonight to support Aenna's foundation, and I hope that my actions moving forward will show that I am committed to making things right. The room was silent for a moment as Nkechi's words sank in. Some people in the crowd looked at each other, surprised by her honesty. Aenna, who had been quietly watching from the back of the room, looked at her with a thoughtful expression. He could see the sincerity in her eyes, and for the first time, he felt that maybe she had truly changed. After her speech, Nkechi approached Aenna and thanked him personally. Aenna, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me. You inspired me to change, and without your forgiveness, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm truly grateful. Aenna smiled slightly, his eyes softening. You've come a long way, Nkechi. I can see that you are trying, and that means a lot. I hope this is just the beginning for you. Nkechi felt a sense of relief and happiness. For the first time, she felt that she had earned Aenna's respect. She had worked hard to prove herself. And this event was a big step in rebuilding trust with him and the community. As the event went on, Aenna saw more of Nkechi's sincerity. He watched her interact with the guests, listening to their stories, and genuinely helping those in need. He could see that she wasn't doing this for attention or praise. She was doing it because she had truly changed. By the end of the evening, Aenna had a new sense of trust in Nkechi. He could see that her journey was not just about words, but about real actions. As they spoke one last time before the event ended, Aenna said, "You've shown me that you're serious about making a difference. I trust you now, Nkechi, and I believe you can do great things." With those words, Nkechi felt her heart soar. She had worked hard for this moment, and now she knew that her transformation was not just about herself. It was about making the world around her better, one small step at a time. After the charity event, a new chapter began for Nkechi. She and Aenna formed a strong friendship based on mutual respect. They spent time together, working on more community projects and helping people in need. Aenna admired how far Nkechi had come and how dedicated she was to making the world a better place. Nkechi, in turn, valued Aenna's wisdom and kindness. They supported each other, and their friendship grew stronger every day. Nkechi's family was also proud of the changes she had made. They had seen her struggle with arrogance in the past, but now they could see how humble and thoughtful she had become. Her parents and relatives noticed the positive changes in her actions and attitude. They were happy to see her helping others and being more considerate of people's feelings. They began to trust her again, and they supported her as she continued on her path of growth. The people in the community also started to forgive Nkechi. At first, many of them had been skeptical about her transformation. They remembered the old Nkechi, the one who judged others and was proud of her appearance. But as time passed, they saw her working hard to make things right. She volunteered at the community center, helped with charity events, and treated everyone with kindness and respect. Slowly, the people who had once looked down on her started to see her as a changed person. They began to forgive her and welcomed her back into the community with open arms. Nkechi felt grateful for the second chance she had been given. She knew she had a long way to go, but she was determined to keep learning and growing. With Aenna's friendship, her family's support, and the community's forgiveness, Nkechi felt more confident in her ability to make a difference. She was no longer the proud, judgmental woman she used to be. Now, she was someone who valued kindness, humility, and the importance of helping others. Her journey had just begun, but Nkechi knew that the best was yet to come. With every step she took, she was becoming a better version of herself, and she was ready to continue making the world a better place. In the end, Nkechi became an advocate for kindness and humility. She used her story to inspire others, sharing how she had changed and the lessons she had learned. She often spoke to young people in the community, telling them about the importance of treating everyone with respect. no matter their appearance or background. She wanted others to know that true beauty comes from within, and it is how we treat others that truly matters. Nkechi and Aenna worked together to improve their community. They organized events, helped the poor, and supported local businesses. Their partnership grew strong, and they became a powerful team. Aenna, with his wisdom, and Nkechi, with her passion for change, were able to make a real difference. Together, they created programs to help people of all ages, showing them the value of kindness, generosity, and respect. As they worked side by side, Nkechi felt proud of how far she had come. She knew that her journey of transformation wasn't just for herself, it was for everyone she could help. Aenna's friendship had played a huge role in her change, and she was grateful for his guidance. The story ends with a powerful message. Never judge someone by their appearance. True value lies within. Nkechi had learned this lesson the hard way, and now she was dedicated to sharing it with the world. She knew that judging people based on how they looked only led to mistakes and regret. True worth comes from a person's heart, actions, and kindness, not from the clothes they wear or the way they look. Nkechi's story had come full circle. From being a woman who judged others based on their appearance to becoming a symbol of change and kindness, she had shown that anyone could change if they were willing to learn from their mistakes. And in the end, the most important thing was not how others saw her, but how she saw herself, and how she treated those around her.